I guess all of you guys able to see my screen. The strategies for generally career growth in the dynamic IT industry. But how do introduce the word continuous? So that's very important. How do we have continuous career growth is the important of this particular, this session. This session is going to talk about it. So let me put up topics. What is that we want to talk about? I'm just going to put it in a nutshell. Don't look at and read anything. I just said there are 7 steps. If you concentrate on these 7 steps, you will be top of your career. Especially starting from knowledge enablement till you become a professional celebrity. People talk about professional status, or I'm talking about the professional celebrity. People say, hey, for this, you call this man. That is the kind of achievement which you can, but you need to follow these 7 steps very clearly. I'm going to give you not just the content, I will give you frameworks, I will give you tools and techniques, and as well as some of the templates, some kind of framework kind of a thing, and we'll go about it. So this is what we're going to talk about it today. So let's get started, and then you can stop me by kind of raising your hand if somebody wants to kind of interact with me. Absolutely welcome. So let me. So this sessions. The whole of these sessions objective is understanding the pillars of career development. What is the pillars of the career development and a growth and a professional growth? The practical strategies to stay ahead or have a competitive advantage. And the next point is that important building professional credibility is a very important in the journey. So typically say you're going to work. I'm not introducing anything with respect to the business development or entrepreneurship. I'm just going to talk about only highly focused on the career growth or a career building. So how do we build the credibility you need to build? Because you're going to stay in this in a journey at least for about 30 years. So it's very important to be your name, and then the way you work, the way you interact with the people, the credibility is very, very important. And then traits and mindset, which is driving a long-term success. So your traits, பண்புகள் சொல்லுவாங்க தமிழ்ல, and then mindset is a very important aspects. And then the final point is that, okay, we'll all talk about this. We can do this. You would have seen a lot of WhatsApp, this. You get today overwhelming tips and all kind of things. But what is the actionable development? How do you put into implementation? Today, the biggest question mark is how are you going to implement that? How are you going to stay abreast about it is the game, right? These are all the 7 steps which I'm talking about. Knowledge, enablement. The first step, to get the job. What is the enablement? The second is employability, enhancement. How do you focus on, how do you get the employment? At least little better employment. Then the third is a very important. Okay, you got a job. Is it over? Now how do you move ahead? Effectiveness and efficiency in the career life cycle. These are 3 very important steps in the beginning of your career. And then the 4th and 5th steps are midterm career, like your professional status is a very important thing. And then the 5th one is what are the required traits for career growth. There are many traits. Then the 6th is a very important. We will focus on these 2. You may have other traits or not, but these 2 traits are very important. That is attitude and leadership. So you have these 2, then you can you may have a lower level qualification, educational qualification. If you have the right attitude, if you have the leadership quality, you can lead. You can really grow up the ladder much faster. Let's see what exactly the formula. I'm going to give you the formula I'm telling you. So this formula is very effective. I used it. I'm just giving you, in the platter, to be honest. Whatever the travel I just came along last 35 years in the professional life. So how do you become a professional celebrity? Is a formula. It's a simple formula. You apply the formula, you get the result. As simple as that. So let's talk about, before we jump on to knowledge enablement, let's set some kind of a guide. what is how many number of engineering, students pass out per year? So 30 lakh engineers, the whole of India. I mean, this number may be plus or minus, but this I took it from Ministry of Human Resource Development. And, this is about 2022, not about 2025, it's old statistics. There's still about 30 lakh engineer coming out of a college every year. And that too, look at this. Top 10 engineering specialization in India. These are all the specializations. There are many other engineering departments, but then these are the top one, especially the computer science, mechanical, civil, blah, blah, whatever it is. So there are about 3,500 engineering colleges all over the country. Right. Okay. After coming out of the college, I'm talking about the 2025 scenario, 24 scenario also. What do most of the fresh engineers do? Either they go to Zomato, they go to Swiggy, they call them very sophisticated name as delivery partners. I feel a little bad because I would have interviewed, I would have met and spoken at least 1,000, 2,000 people on my life, because I pick up conversation with people and try to understand what exactly they are, just to get the understanding by an observation of that. So this is a very pathetic current situation. And then some of them, right, they get into call centers, right? The call centers, and people say, I'm working for IT. I mean, I asked somebody when I was, the same kind of a similar seminar sometime. I asked, what's your father doing? Oh, my father, working in bank. As what? He's taking care of, whatever the loan, giving, these, that. I said, oh, he's also in. I said, oh, he's also in. Oh, he's not into IT. He's into banking. I said, how come you say, what are you doing? I'm in BPO. What BPO means what? He doesn't know, some people don't even know what is BPO. That's okay, fine. And then business process outsource. What you're doing, you're taking this, putting a tick mark, and all this stuff, or this process in your document. You're processing, you're not into IT. If you're saying if you're into IT, your father is also IT, give good respect to your father. That's the point here. Then they don't even know. Then the final, as I said, call center is a calling people, giving solutions or giving resolutions and all. The BPO is what I talked about as an example. Fine. Where do we go now from here? People are thinking this is a permanent solution. The US or outside the country, people do Zomato delivery and this kind of delivery, yes, Uber delivery, but that is a temporary, just to make extra money for their education. Here, they are thinking that's the profession. That's not the profession. That's not the profession. So people have to be very clear. I want you, all of you guys, senior people are there, very, 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 you have to educate the kids, educate the people who are coming out of the college. Call center is okay, that's a temporary thing. And that too, that is also what's happened, where we are going from here. Down the line, the delivery will happen by drones. That layer is gone. Call center, today, this actually I predicted almost about 8-9 years back. The call center is going to be replaced by automation, which is AI. Now, you want to say, see, my number is not working, I want solution, whatever, everything is being automated by IVR. And it's going to give you the solution. There is a list of 400, 500 is the pattern. That is a standard question customer will be asking, and then that answer you will be getting from call center. All the BPO processing, again, automation, AI is going to replace that. So that's done. All these 3 areas are gone. At least to a large extent, 80% is got vanished. It will get vanished, right? So what is the problem today with the freshers? If you look at it, the journey, you see, they get a degree, their lack of awareness, they think completing a BA or a BTech is a wonderful thing in life. And after that, let them be happy, but I'm not giving any fear in them, but I'm just making awareness. So the lack of awareness, lack of practical skills, I use the word encountered many people, they practically zilch. They don't know anything. And we are not able to take people. We are not able to recruit the right people for the job. And we are not asking experts, we are asking simple guys, simple, whatever they learn. They're not able to produce, they're not able to answer. They have done a project in the last year, final year of their degree. They are not able to explain what it does. There is no depth. They keep saying whatever they've written on their resume. But when you go deeper asking questions, they are not able to answer. Let them copy. I'm saying copycatting the project is not a problem. But when you copy it with the depth, copy it with the understanding. Then, of course, the next point is the financial issues and the placement issues. So that's a big gap. They're not employable. Suppose somebody was already employed, lucky. That's pretty good. Now, that's the moving forward. After that, what exactly is happening in the current situation? See, why I'm giving this background. Very important to understand the background of this, why this topic today is the need of the hour. People feel, is it the right job or is it a temporary job? Am I satisfied? Is it a dream job? Okay, somewhat I'm happy, extremely happy, or joined a dream company, etc., etc. This is where a mixture of things are happening. These are all people who got the job. What exactly happens after that? This is 80% this applies to IT field and also other field as well. So first of all, most of the guys who took the campus interviews, again, campus interview, that particular thing's also gone for the last 2 years. Now we are not sending it, very rarely happening. Those days people used to recruit tons and tons of people, and right now, we are very choosy now. We expect more than what they are, the industry. So first 6 years. So first initially they get a job. After that they think the life is not settled. Then usually, when I was young, people say, degree mushta podanda settled life. Then people ask, degree, chinna vela gachina life settled. Marriage life settled. Where life is getting settled. you have to keep lying, there is no settlement in life. Just keep rolling. As long as you don't roll, the life goes on. And when you stop rolling, that's a stop. So what happens is that when you get a job in an IT company, you are happy, you get good salaries, weekend parties, enjoy life, and after that, what happens? And they don't upgrade themselves. They don't read. Now the problem is reading is the biggest problem. Updating or upgrading, it's absolutely no. And after that, then another biggest, what do you call it? A mirage or that after 2 years or 1.5 years, there is an auto promotion. Most of the companies use. Then people say, we have done a great job. So we got into promotion. So everything is done fine. The 6th year is the litmus test. The 6th year is where the people who were not able to produce, were not able to give a result, they will go to the common pool. After that, they go to the bench. Then they are out of the system. Somewhere they get a job, somewhere, they jump it with some kind of an interview, tactics or talent or whatever. Then what happens in the 10th year, let's say, the engineers, IT engineers, like 10 lakh people who heard the number comes out. So 50% exit at the 10th year. 75% is being out of the system in the 13th year. And 16th year, 90% exit. So this is the statistics I collected from various websites and then information. And that's what I'm putting. So again, I'm not demeaning anybody. I'm not trying to discourage people, or I'm trying to see, my job is to show the truth, tell the truth to the people, right? And then what happens? So out of 30 years of your career, 16 years of suppose somebody comes till about 16th year. So what happens after that? There are 15 plus more years are there to work, right? What happens to that? That's the question mark. And I've seen most of the people who have been come out, they say, I'm going to sell organic cold press oil. What? Let them do. Again, I'm not dealing. If you like that particular job or a business, please go and do it. But there is no option, So this is how the dissemination is happening. After that 10 years of the life, or 15 years you can stretch, after that done. The life is done, especially in IT industry. Other industry vary, plus or minus. But in this kind of the environment, how are we going to be like a great personality, a professional, a strong head. That's what we're going to talk about. First of all, knowledge enablement typically happens during the pre-job and the early career stage. So that's the knowledge is the first step. So you need to acquire as much as possible. You are like what do you call, like a sponge, right? Start absorbing, start absorbing. I know some dirt also go inside, but still it is okay. Just absorb as much as possible. The knowledge is the very, very important thing. Understand? One of the very important traits is the observation and develop curiosity. Curiosity is a very basic foundation stone for acquiring the knowledge. If you don't have a curiosity, you cannot acquire. Nowadays, nobody focus, nobody point their head towards that, acquiring the knowledge. It may be good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter. Just acquire it. That's the first step. After that, now what happens, like, yes, I can stop. Yeah, right? There are many points there, but I'm going to take one thing. Career longevity depends on the adaptability. That's the very important thing. So you may understand this, many things. How are you going to adapt to the environment is a very, very important thing. That's where I'm talking about the acquiring knowledge and upgrading your knowledge, updating your skills, like that. All right. And that too, today's AI evolution, it's much more accelerating. I'm telling, I was talking to somebody, in my 35 years of experience, I did not get goosebumps. And I did not get so excited last, 2 years, 1.5 to 2 years because of the AI. And I'm seeing surprise because we used to write code night and day to say some invoicing and all. And I used to write a COBOL code or a C++ code. It used to take so much of time to write, debug it, deploy it, and then see it onto the screen and all. Now I'm not writing code. I'm just typing, hey, I need these 1, 2, 3, that's it. And then it gives me the code. I was surprised because I am using at least some 6, 7 very high-powered AI engines in my own project. So that's exactly where it is, where we are today. That's exactly where we are today. Knowledge is the currency. Today I'm telling this person, knowledge is the currency of modern careers. As much as possible. In fact, cross-domain knowledge is very important. You say, I'm a computer science, I am this, I am that. No. You need to sometimes understand what is law. You need to understand, what is history. You definitely need to understand, other, departments and other domains. And because you're a computer science or because of the mechanical engineering, you need to understand cross. So because the basic functions are going to taken care of here, you need to go to the abstract layer so that you can combine together few areas or few domains, engineering background, come out with a solution. Because you can't say that even 5 years back, people say, I'm only the front-end developer, I'm only the database developer, I'm only the back-end developer. No more seeing that. You want a full stack right now. Right now, the buzzword is full stack. I'm just giving an example of IT, just to understand. Now, next is that this is the simple model. This is very important. 70-20-10 learning model. Now, you can understand that learning is one thing, like in your degree now, but learning from others, mentors, peers, and leaders that are very important, which constitute 20% of your learning. And then, of course, the rest of the things are all courses, certification, workshops, and visiting the exhibitions, and then many other workshops and things like that, right? So this is the first step, as I said, knowledge enablement. Yeah. So I'm not going to run through all the bullets. I will share this PowerPoint. Probably people can go through it later. I'm just going to take a couple of points and highlight and speak about it. But these are all the 5 pointers for the knowledge enablement. One is to create a personal learning system. See, I have my own learning system. I do certain patterns of reading, certain patterns of I have, let's say that I have something like about 2,000 books in my personal library. People say, oh, you have read everything, you read everything. I'm not reading everything. You know how I read? I'll give an example. See, I take any subject. You may know some places, some of the words. So I don't go to the table of contents, I go behind. This is the appendix. I go to the appendix and start reading the appendix. Some of the new words I find it, I go to that page and then start reading it. I take the another word which I don't know, then I go and then confirm it. So in that way, appendix may have about 1,000 words or 1,000, very key words. I use the word keywords in the book, right? So then, instead of reading on 400 pages, like, people say, bound from one page to last page, no, I'm not reading it. But I know what is there inside. And then sometimes when I go and take the page with reference to the particular number. So that's exactly the point. The next is that you form your own. So this works for me, I take it. It may not work for you. So but that you need to keep observing. Okay? Sometimes when you read so fresh and grabbing that particular information or knowledge, then you note it down. Okay, you form your own timetable or your own the pattern in which how you want to read it. But I'm telling you, 5 to 10 hours of a weekly learning is absolutely non-negotiable. This is outside of your degree, outside of this, whatever, anything, you have to learn this 5 to 10 hours. Then another is the micro learning approach. There's another technique every day. You don't need to read everything, all the whole books in about, in one go, like 2 days and 3 days, continuous right from morning till evening. That people can. I have done it for reading books. I used to read a lot of novels and things like that. That interesting. Then open a book and then start reading for 2 days also continuously. I've done in my life. I mean, many of you would have done that. And it is so interesting. But for the learning, that's the reading for enjoyment, reading for pleasure. But this one is the learning to keep it inside, keep it stay. So every day you spend about 15 minutes. And today the learning methodologies have changed. I listened to podcasts when I was walking, and at least 90 minutes a week. It's a very important thing. You will learn a lot from podcast, whatever the topics you want to choose. Like your Amazon Audible is there, Headway. There are many podcasting these things available. So you can just read. Another one article per day. Small article, 2 pages, 1 page, 3-page articles you have to read. That's a micro-learning approach. Another third is the deep learning through projects. That is a very important thing. As I use the example, when you do a project and final year project, people, whatever the project, not necessarily education, any project you do, learn deeply. Even you have not done, sit down, discuss, learn the pointers, learn how this is done. Go and keep asking the person who did that particular, but let's say 4 people are doing a project, then you completely gain the knowledge, understand that from them, So that's where you understand the cross functionality of the diverse learning. That's very important. This is a deep learning. The community engagement is one thing which, again, like this workshop, talking to many people, probably you can start writing blogs and speak to, you have to go and speak and deliver some of those, lectures, some of these things. Today, and again, another point I've seen is most of people are a bit shy in talking, and don't worry about it, just go and talk. Just go and deliver. So then another practices gets, right? Then, of course, the fifth is the formal learning options, which of course you attend the conference, workshops, certifications, enroll yourself for the higher degree values and etc. So these are, the mindset. I think if you look at the tips here, view challenges as a learning opportunity, not obstacle side. That's one thing very important. See, sometimes the feedback, embrace failure as feedback. You don't take it as a failure. Ask questions relentlessly. That's a very important thing. And then one point I'm going to talk about in the later slides, you have to take or seek some mentor. Today nobody does. See, in my life, I have so many gurus, so many people, mentor. And I really picked up a lot of things from people by talking to them, by engaging them, by encouraging them. Because then you have to learn the technique of how to engage a person. Otherwise, why somebody to teach you? Why somebody should talk about it? It's up to you how you talk to them. So you can be, I always give an example of IAS officers. So IAS officers, if you see, they would have done, IAS, sociology in something, but they give a decision for engineering. How? They talk to this engineer, one alone, pick up all the points, another engineer. They compare what this first engineer talked about, the second engineer. They compare, third engineer come, he will ask the question back to that fellow. Sir, you engineering, sir. Engineer, see, that is the mindset you need to have, you know. So that's what how things works. A person have to have a courage to grab the knowledge, right? Now, the first step is gone. Any question here for the first step? And I'll go to the second step. I hope people are able to kind of pick it up or understand. All right, I'll just go on. So next is that how we're going to do. Okay, I've done a knowledge, I've done a degree, I've done all my jobs. So how are we going to make myself employable? How are we going to focus for the employability, right? So that's a very, very important thing. See, first step is always based on your degree. First step is always based on the way you attend the interview, your attitude, not even attitude. I would say, aptitude. Yeah, of course. So these are all the things, right? The first time you get a job, right? What is that is required? These are all the two things. I'm just going to give an example for IT. This can be anything with respect to industry, neuron industry. I've just given data analytics, AI, ML, cloud technology, cyber security, blah, blah, or whatever. But the soft skills are very important, of course, apart from the hard skills. So actually speaking, when we interview people, we are not expecting any big in terms of the soft skills, except for a little bit of communication, but strong technical skill. If you're going for a technical job or a technical career, you have to be pretty strong. You need to understand, you need to read about it, what's happening in your industry, what's happening in your AI, what's happening in cloud technology, what's happening in cyber security, That is what we are expecting. You want to stay in the career, you want to say some doctors will. So again, I want to say in the doctors community, you see, some doctors are doctors only, not the experts. Some doctors they say, hey, I want to go only to the doctor. People always say, his ability to diagnose, his ability to give solution. So that's the person stay in the market. Stay in the market, I use the word, and in a commercial way, but that's the truth. That's a hard truth. So you have to be hardcore technical skill. People salute you. So that's really hard skill. The soft skills, of course, you can learn over a period of time, but if you're better in that, you are a great. You are a wanted commodity in the market. I want this done. Economic communication, presentation skill, adaptability, and of course the emotional intelligence and empathy and all. See, again, I'm telling you, learning is non-negotiable, not optional. Today. So you have to keep learning, right? So this is the next again, how do you kind of go about it, right? First of all, identify the gaps. Say next to 3 to 6 months, where do I stand? Suppose this is all after degree. I'm talking about the second step, employability. Some people get a job, some people don't get the job. So what is the gap? So identify and address the gap in 3 to 6 months. It may be a soft skill need, and the gap may be in a hard skill, whatever it is, identify. And that's the second bullet, second point. The third point is very important. You have to go around. You need to go around. You should not sit at the home. The people have to go around at the industry conference, seminar, and the communities, join. You have to get engaged with the particular professional network. The professional network is the game. That's how I grew with the professional network. If I don't have the professional network, whatever the knowledge you have, whatever the skills you have, you are confined to a cocoon. That's it. You can't do anything, whatever you can crib about. So develop professional network, which is a pretty very important here, right? And somebody wants to say something? Okay. So document the and showcase achievements. And this is again, when you're going for employability enhancement, so you need to have the project. You have to be very crystal clear about what is the benefit, what is the ROI, a little bit, not in a very sophisticated way. And that's how you have to go, right? So this is first employment is gone, the post employment. We're talking about the effectiveness and efficiency in career life cycle. So this is the how you're going to grow. A post-employment growth is a highly you need to focus on. This determine you joined a company, you got a big baseline now. So from here, how you want to go? That is the one which is going to define your potential and aspiration. You have to have some aspiration. And I'm not seeing anybody, I mean, most of the youngsters are not having any aspirations. Again, I'm a little negative, but it's not about it. But I'm just trying to tell the truth, hardcore truth, without sugarcoating. So that's what I'm trying to. But then I think people pick it up. Good. Let's come to this. This is a very important point. So career isn't in one phase. It's a multiple stage, right? Just give me a second. Just keep okay. So efficiency at each stage compounds into exponential career growth. Very important. Let's split the stage into three. I mean, the career, the whole of 30 years, let's split into three. Stage 1, 2, 3. Earlier career, mid career, late, and leadership. So that's his third stage. So there are about 5 pointers here. Focusing, where to focus, priority, efficiency driver, metrics, and time management. These are all the 5 important pointers which you where to focus and how to focus is the first step. And the career stage, you have to focus on building foundation credibility like that. And I'm not going to read it again. I'm just going to pick up a couple of things. In the career, in your first, the early stage, better you find mentors. That's a very important thing. Again and again, I'm saying, because they are the gurus. They will give their life lessons. Sometimes people say they're getting bored. Better get bored rather than, left alone. I use this word, right? Then the first 3 years, very important in your career. Then the second 3 to 10 years, develop unique expertise. Unique expertise which could be combination of your technical ability, a management skill, a technical ability with your domain expertise. Because the domain expertise is a very, very important thing, right? So these are I'm going to talk about it anyway. So these are all look at this chart. It will give you a very clear, approach. How do you plan your career? And I put a star there. This slide is, though there may be many slides, so you can pick up the slides with the stars, and then you can keep this as the ready reckoner whenever you get a doubt on this, right? And of course, the third stage is a very important thing. I mean, the leadership is the very important, for me, sir, ruthless prioritization. Prioritization is a very important thing. Which one you want to do first, which one you want to do it, which one sometimes you don't even want to consider something. Just leave it. Like that, you have to be very ruthless in your prioritization. These are all the tools of practice, a time management tool, productivity practice, leverage of multiplication. Time blocking is a very important thing. You need to go with the, time boxing technique. You have to clearly schedule your timelines, do that. I'm not saying that, all the 24 hours you do only work, learn. No, you can plan your weekends, enjoy yourself. Say you have 4 weekends. 2 weekends, you go and enjoy yourself. 2 weekends, 1 weekend, you go to the workshop. One another weekend, you go and learn something. So that's the way, you need to have a balance. So, for all the weekends, you not being, written on the wall, stating that all weekends are enjoyable. You have to just, plan it that way. One of the very important thing is, see again, I'm also lacking in this. I'm admitting that productivity practice, MIT is a very important thing. Most important task in the morning. I do most important task in the evening, because I also get up very late because of whatever the various reasons, talking to US clients and things like that. But I would recommend, the morning hours is a very precious time. So Absolutely very important thing. Though I'm not practicing, I just want to tell you that whatever other things I'm practicing. So then Pomodoro technique, we will talk about it. There are about 5 techniques or 4 or 5 techniques I'm going to teach you. I'm going to tell you that this is going to, if you really follow that, that will change your career. That's for sure, right? And then of course you need to figure out and find out what are the automation tools, and not necessarily IT, even engineering, mechanical, electrical. There are so many automation tools and techniques have come. So you have to adapt. If you don't get, you are not able to get the, you're not able to buy it or something, just find out where it is, go and get the access, go and acquire that knowledge, how to operate that, how to use that. So that's where you need to go. This is what I was talking about. Let me pull out this, just please. This is what. How many gurus you can have? How many role models? There is not one single role model. Not like one single role model. I don't want to be political, but then I want to be role model of Rajinikanth. I want role model of Kamala Hassan or MGR. No, you may have many role models. You may have many mentors, you guru for each, or you create a circle for these things. Let us say for your domain knowledge. Say you want to learn about banking, you want to learn about what is logistics, you want to learn about whatever it is, just find out who's the right person, try to talk to him, whatever, the way you want to kind of strike an equation. Every weekend you go, or every, wherever the time possible, just go, because you want to acquire that knowledge. I'll give an example. I'm not a accounting background person, but I want to write a ERP package. I don't know anything about accounts. I don't know anything about finance. I have every day evening, I went to a person who taught me what is accounting. Starting from, debit comes in, what credit goes, what are the 3 golden principles of accounting, what is liability, what is, assets and liabilities, what is a balance sheet, what is a trial balance. Now, I'm able to write the entire ERP for accounting or for financial management. So that's where you have to be very patient, learn step by step. If you want to acquire some, seek and do it. Spiritual. Find somebody, whether good or bad, find somebody. You want to learn some language, you want to relax, select the correct friends and then go and relax. Humor club, advance, whatever you want to do it, whichever is you like, pick up that particular circle and then engage with them, acquire your knowledge, or whatever that achievement you want to do it. So that's where this particular thing. This is my own framework which I follow in my life, which is called, how do you pronounce this? Skill them. Meaning, first you seek to find the person, right? The right person. How do you know whether it's the right person or not? After connecting only you know. You can't just say that, oh, he's a good person, he's a bad person. First you connect. First you find, connect, explore whether it's the right person or not. Explore in the sense, you want something to get it from him, knowledge or wisdom or whatever. So then you figure it out. Then after that you validate. If it is okay, continue. If it doesn't okay, that's good, drop it. Nobody's going to say yes, good or bad. This is what I'm giving a framework or approach to see it. You may be doing it knowingly or unknowingly, some of you, but I'm just putting a structure for it. Developing is a very important thing. You have to have sometimes I tell you, mentor may not need something from you, but there are certain people at your level itself who are good. They will need a value from you also. Find out whether what you can give it to him. Always try to see what you can give. The giving is a very important thing actually. So what is the value you are going to give to him? Then you can talk about co-create. Co-creation is the word today, very important. Together, what is the value? What is the solution? Or what is the partnership roadmap you're going to develop? Then how are we going to sustain the relationship? How are we going to maintain or sustain the relationship? This framework is pretty much is working actually for me, and then see whether it works for you guys. All right. So far, let's get to the 4th step. So, oh my God, already it's about 5. I will touch this, then I'll stop for a while, then we finish rest of the things. What is the professional status? First and foremost is you understand what is professional credibility. How are you going to build a professional credibility? Factors. See, what is professionalism? The factors influencing professional standing. These are the three important points, which I'm going to maybe a little rush to finish this particular thing. So this one thing I want to read it out. Professional status is distinct from job title or compensation. And whatever I'm doing it, don't have like don't have that in your mind. You do the best. You fight for the salary, you fight for your promotion. These are a separate channel. But when you want to deliver the good thing, people will keep you. People will want it on you, always you. And another point is it's a reputation capital. Imagine I use the word capital you have accumulated so far. So that's what the professional status is all about, right? And then there are again, I'm going to give you a chart. Year 1, 2 to 3, 4 plus. The foundation building is very important. Develop deep expertise in core domain. And people always say, hey, call this person for the job, right? Be the go-to person for specific problems. That's very important. And 2 and 3 is very important. You have to slowly increase your visibility. Volunteer for high visibility project. These are the small things. People always, I'm okay. I don't want to take a risk. I'm happy. I'm doing this job. I'm okay. Fair enough. You have to go and grab another one. Take risk. If you don't take a risk in your career over 2 to 3 years, when do you take a risk? At about 50, 60 years? No. Take a risk. I know you have to burn your midnight oil. You have to spend more time. Exactly. But that's okay. That's okay in your early stage, especially before marriage, I'm saying. I mean, most of you guys would have, married, but still, you have a lot of time there. Thought leadership is the 4 plus years. And after that, you have to have a vision, you need to have some great ideas, and you have to influence a strategic decision at the meetings when you're taking them there. So that's where the status comes in, right? Again, there are 2 factors we're going to talk about it. Positive factors, there are about 6 or 7 factors. Proactive problem solving and initiative. Jump in and solve the problem. Sometimes you may not be solving the problem, still it is okay. But that gives you enormous amount of experience and understanding. The next point is very important. Whatever don't blame others and external factors. And I always say that traffic is very bad, and then this is not good. Yes, all the external factors. What I'm saying is that, if you start doing that, you will fine-tune yourself on how to do that. It's very difficult blaming others and external factors. It's very difficult, but you have to try to put into use, right? So again, the compound effect is what I'm talking about. Small ethical decisions, reliable deliverables, and genuine relationships accumulate into powerful reputation capital. It's a reputation capital over 5 to 10 years. What does it mean? Nothing happens overnight like cinema. Cinema is only thing, in the morning, somebody cycle pedaling, and then next day he'll become crorepati. No, it takes a while to build something in 5 to 10 years. It's going to take a while. Right? So this is a very important factor. Right? Next, this is Trinity power. What is the Trinity power? See, you guys have come out the basic things. Everybody, whoever finished a BTech degree or BE degree or any kind of a degree or graduation, typically, technology. Their technology, they come out of the degree with the technology. They have a new language, they would have learned all these things, basic stuff, the technology. Then the rest of the 2 things, people are lagging. What is it? Domain? No idea. Say, for example, computer science. Suppose we take a computer science guy and ask him to write a program for accounting or small processing, bank reconciliation, whatever it is. They don't know what is reconciliation. They know what is banking. They don't know what is insurance. So what I'm saying is that while doing so, you start learning this domain. Learn some domains. There are 20, 30 domains. Whatever domains. which is interesting you, probably aviation, retail, manufacturing, energy. There are many domains, or at least one, two. You don't need to go too much. But again, I've asked somebody what is logistics. They say very base level. Double click, go deeper and understand what is logistics. Unless suppose you want to be specialized in logistics, then you have to learn, put your whole soul and the heart and soul into that, and understand the length and breadth and depth of it. But technology people understand a bit about it, understand the process, understand how it works, right? Even agricultural, everything. So it helps you to go and apply your computer knowledge is the tool where you want to apply on the domain. If the domain is not there, what do you apply? Say you are a data analyst or a data analyst, or you have done a data scientist. What do you do with that? You have done a degree. What do you do? Unless somebody says, last 10 years, what is the weather? Or what is the agricultural? When the raining? When this? So then on that knowledge, you apply your technique. So to understand the dashboard, to get the dashboard. So the domain knowledge is a very important thing. The third is very important. Again, some kind of a management knowledge is required. The management understanding, any kind of a management, human behavior, critical thinking, problem solving, communication. I'm not saying that you have to learn all of it. Nobody can do that, right? But there is a technique. I'll teach you the technique, how you can learn these in a very structured fashion. I'll come to that. So this is one. This is the formula which I talked about. Update, upgrade, transform. That's when the paradigm shifts, right? It means the professional status is like you are extending your aura. You need to extend your aura. How are you going to do that? First of all, you update. Get update. Next is upgrade. Transform. Then the paradigm shift happens. It's like a butterfly, right? From the egg to caterpillar, then finally that's where the paradigm shift happens. So how do you apply it? Structurally, right? But this is the formula. The PS is the professional status, U square T. U square is like update and upgrade. Then the transform, which is nothing but your professional status or a paradigm shift. That's how it happens. Very simple table. Daily, weekly, quarterly, year. You can put a table like this. You just say update. You have to do update daily. Some small tapes. It may be management. You see, for example, my hobby is like even a habitual. I'm not an economist, but I learn economics. I learn geopolitics, what's happening around the world. I'm an interest. I can't spend 3-4 hours, but wherever tips and based on that, understand. And then the management tips, technology, so that you keep updating yourself on a daily basis. Upgrade typically happens on a weekly or a quarterly basis or a monthly basis. I'll not use the monthly here. So these two constitute and a quarterly. The quarterly where you transform a full project, 3 months learning, 3 months project, 3 months, a kind of a thing. And then sometimes you may have, start writing people, whatever the area they are, you write it in Tamil, you write it in English, you write it in Hindi, it doesn't matter. You have to keep writing something or other. You have to opinion, you have to make some opinion. Then people start looking into you, right? Then of course the paradigm shift happens like, it's a long-term project, 1-year project. So this is a framework for professional status, right? Okay, I stopped here for about a minute. Any questions? I would like to take it. Otherwise, I'm not going to focus on this attitude and leadership. Straight away, I go to the 6th point. Then I finish some tools. That will take another 20 minutes or so. Then we'll wind up. So, any questions here? Or you want me to continue?
Yeah, please proceed, sir. We'll have a question at the end, sir. No problem.
Okay. I think I'm not right. Okay. So I go. Okay. What I'll do is I don't want to miss this as well. I just say. See, there are so many, as I said, required traits, vulnerable. These are all the things, nobody, I know, I can't learn everything together. But if you pick up those 2 pointers, attitude and leadership, that's a separate topic, separate step. I touch upon these 7 steps. These are very important traits apart from this attitude and um, this thing like attitude. Curiosity and learning agility. You have to have a growth mindset, resilience and grit, integrity and authenticity, adaptability and flexibility. Humility, of course, openness, initiatives, and all. I don't want to keep talking. But again, how do you put into use? I'm more interested in put into use. A development approach is the first is the self-assessment. You have to do a honest evaluation using 360 feedback or the personality assessment. You go and search what is 360 feedback framework or a template, you'll get it, and you assess where you stand, right? And then deliberate, practices and the mentoring relationships. These are all the points which will kind of gonna help you to do that. And then you need to have a baseline, 1 to 2 weeks, 3 to 8 weeks, active practice and experimentation, 9 to 10 weeks, reflection and pattern identification. See, everybody works on a pattern. Everybody does their job to keep repeating the same thing. It's very difficult to get out of the pattern. If somebody is used to certain things, morning coffee kind of a thing. It's very difficult to break it. So if you find that pattern is what is killing you, that's the pattern is pulling you down, then try to change the pattern. So once you change the pattern, it's like a rewiring your brain, then it works out, right? Then integration and then commitment. So this is what I talked about. These are traits, you do these things, finally you become a star. Not a superstar yet, you're a star, right? Out of which, as I talked about, this I will take little later. I'll go and touch up on the step 7. So this will take little time. And then framework. Okay, just give me a minute. Yes. This I'll talk about. The rest, time permits, I'll go to that attitude, that traits. Okay, so leadership and attitudes on further age. So career framework. This is very important. You need to know, you need to understand, where you want to be next 5 to 10 years. Very important thing. And understand and assess. You go to even take a baby step towards that. That gives you a better feel, right? This is how I built the career framework, 3-stage career framework. So stage 1, as I said, I'm the same typically, 0 to 3, 3 to 10, and 10 to 10 plus years. Here the metrics really changes. Now, how do you measure the success factor? And then what the role that you need to play? Say, for example, individual contributor, especially in the 1 to 3, 0 to 3, you're an individual contributor, you're a specialist. Then after 3 to 10 years of your thing, you're not a individual contributor. You have to make your team to work. You have to, play a role of mentoring them, leading them, or leadership. A little bit of a mid-management kind of a thing in 3 to 10 years. 10 plus years, things work. So you are a thought leadership, you are mentoring, vision setting, those kind of things. This actually, that's what I'm talking about. Each stage has a distinct focus, metrics and strategies. So you can extend this, you can customize this, but these are the kind of framework which you can think about, right? The very, very important thing, which again, I kind of followed it up, so I'm just putting it across here. Especially second is a very important. 3 to 10 years makes a lot of things, but sometimes 3 to 10 years, you may be doing something, then you may jump again back to, stage back to 10 plus years. So you have the youngsters especially have a long way to go, and then you can put into use of these techniques. Again, a quick touch up on this. How we're gaining knowledge before and now. Before, we read books, classroom, reading, all those. Now, I don't know, we kind of get knowledge from everywhere. Knowledge, I use the word knowledge, information. See, the guy is totally with the Instagram, Facebook, Google, YouTube, where knowledge dump is happening. But what's it? We are losing the charm of. If you seek and get it, you get a little kick out of it, which is not happening right now. Okay, fair enough. But how to acquire wisdom? Knowledge is good, but a lot of difference between the knowledge and wisdom. So how to differentiate that? But before that, so you need to clear your mind. Now, how do you clear? Whatever you get in front of you, you need to filter it, unclutter, then clean, deep clean. Then you get a better brain. So that's the kind of clear, right? But one quick important tips I got of giving you. Now let's come to this place. What is knowledge? Where to seek, how to seek. Wisdom, where to put in use, how to put in use. That's the difference between knowledge and wisdom, right? This is the, knowledge, helps to answer the question, right? That's what the knowledge, like your question paper, examination, all this, and when the question is, you'll answer it. But wisdom helps to make decisions. That's a huge difference, right? So knowing for example, knowing the rules of chess. I know the rules, which moves straight, which moves across, which the horse move one step right, all these things. But choosing the right strategy is the wisdom. So that's what the difference between knowledge and wisdom. So wisdom is very important. Unless you put in use that knowledge, you will not gain wisdom. Or you listen to somebody who already put that knowledge into use and they got the results. But still, unless you experience that, the wisdom sometimes is very difficult, right? Most of the cases, you listen to them, then you'll understand the wisdom as well into that, right? Now, there are about 4 techniques. I quickly want to finish this. One technique called Maslow. Then the second one is a Pomodoro. Third is a Pareto's principle. I think some of you already know about it, I guess. SMART criteria. First, let me talk about this Maslow method. Must do, should do, could do, and won't do at all. So this is a very, very important system which we could follow, which we need to follow this. Again, I'm not going to read any English. I'm just going to go a little faster here. Must do, it is non-negotiable. You have to do. Should do, yes, I will do it. Could, maybe I'll do it. That's a could do. And the W part is that I will never do this. So when you look at this, maximum effort, you put 60% of your effort on must do. So when you have about 8 hours of a day, when you were productive hours, so 60% you put across for the must have, and then combine together, like the should have and a must have, or the another 20%, so 80%. And this is like a contingency. Now you could do that, but total effort is 100%. But that one, never ever do this. This is the final one. So quick, these are all the small technique which you can follow, which probably trigger some place, will help you to do things. This another one is a very good thing. It's a Pomodoro technique, where there's a guy who invented this. I mean, he was just trying it out. Like the technique is, I don't know, some of you guys may know about it. 25 minutes. You take something like this. There is a timer. You put it 25 minutes, and then you switch off your phone, switch off everything, and it's a focus on very, very highly concentrated work for 25 minutes. Then 5 minutes break. Then another 25 minutes. Then another 5 minutes break. Likewise, you can finish, even if you say, for example, suppose you do a continuously 4 Pomodoro. Pomodoro is nothing but a kind of tomato. That's what the Italian word. Italian word is a Pomodoro, and that's where if you follow this, your output, your productivity will be enormous productivity, right? So you can just see this English and Tamil how to do this. There's a Pareto principle again. I have this template which I will share it with you. So these are Pomodoro templates. Let us say today is 9th. 8th, I have something to accomplish. So I can just say this is one Pomodoro. That is 125 plus 5 minutes break, 5 minutes. So you break that 8 hours into half an hour slices. So totally we're talking about 16. So you can just say productivity, how much you're completing it, like 14, 10, someday it may be 10 also, don't bother, right? So, but then if you complete it, you'll feel happy. Every day evening you see, on the night before you go to the bed and say, hey, out of 16, I've done 10, I've done 8. Okay. Sometimes you get 18, even you did 10 hours, no? Then you'll be so happy about it. Unless you track it. If you don't track it, you will not see that. You cannot correct it. So tracking is very important. But I'll share this template. Whoever wants to use it, use it. So this one. Next is we're talking about a Pareto principle. See, this one is again, I always say that 20% of the people lift the whole thing. Like, again, these are all the examples, 20% of the criminals commit 80% of the crime. 20% of drivers cause 80% of all traffic accidents. Right? And same thing, 20% of the students have grade 80% or higher. So you can always see this, in your own life. So this is called the 80-20 principle. So you can apply wherever is required. It means your effort, like 20% of your effort, very important, highly focused effort, will yield 80% of the result. Your 80% will yield, sometimes you put all your effort, energy, 80% energy will give you only 20%. If you understand and manage this 80-20 properly, then you can balance the whole output of the results. So that's the point here. Right? The next one is that SMART criteria. Is a very important thing. You can put into use practically to learn anything, to achieve anything. Specific. You have to be very specific what you want to achieve. Measurable, assignable, relevant, and time-based. These are all the 5 pointers. Say, for example, right? Okay, let me explain what is specific. Simple, and just say, I want to learn Excel. I want to learn Excel. Okay, you want to learn Excel? How do you want to learn Excel? I want to learn Excel. How do you want to learn Excel? See, everybody knows today, I know Excel. I'm interviewing, so I'm seeing everybody knows Excel. No, not even one person. They know only enter some words and calculate plus minus. There are tons of features are there in Excel. A typical, let us say 40-hour program learning. So you can say every day I will learn 1 hour. Every day I will take 30 minutes. That's the measurable. And second point is assignable, like actionable. I have to learn out of these 30 minutes, I'm going to learn what is this, what is pivot table, whatever it is, you just pick it up and then put that across. So that's the way you let it assignment. Relevant is a typical result oriented. When you learn, apply practically, you see that, and then time bound is a trackable and tangible. Like within let us say you want to learn in 1 month, you put in this 40 hours, divide that in number of days, whatever. That's where this framework comes. This is the framework for the Excel learning. I just fixed it across. I'll share it with you. Like within 2 months, I want to learn. Maybe 1 year also you can put it, but you can't learn last 1 month all topics. So it's a SMART is a technique where you've been very consistent in terms of the learning. This is a SMART framework, right? SMART way of Excel learning. And these are all the do's and don'ts. Let's forget about this right now. Let's talk about this celebrity. What is celebrity? Professional celebrity. Can we name some of them in the known industry? Like Rajinikanth, Kamala Hassan, Vijay, Ajit, whoever it is, I'm just known celebrities of the celebrities. There are celebrities in business, there are celebrities there are many professions. There are unknown celebrities in their industry, they are very, very great. They treated them as a celebrity, right? In that particular industry, right? How do you get that? You have to brand yourself. Branding is very important. You understand how do you brand? Your style, your way you talk, the way you represent, the way you strike a card, all these things are. So that's how you kind of think. But it has to be consistent, authentic, not as acting. You got to be authentic, right? So that's how you build your personal branding foundation, right? Define your brand. Hey, he's a great technologist. He's a fabulous problem solver. He's a solution finder, whatever it is. That's your, but you'll understand. You'll see there will be a time where, over a period of 2 to 3 years, people will address you with that. Hey, அவங்ககிட்ட போப்பா அவன் சொல்யூஷன் கொடுப்பான். அவங்ககிட்ட போப்பா, he is a good problem solver. He will immediately solve this problem. He will give a solution. That then you identify, oh, நம்ம அதுல தான் கரெக்டா. Then pick up that brand, pick up that liner. Then you put that, define your brand. And then content creation, sharing, these are all okay, fine, these are all the things. But then that's one thing you strike the chord, right? Then of course, how do you establish the authority and the influence? And see, personal branding is like kind of like influencing people. How you going to influence? How you going to talk, right? And these are all the how you influence about, you can practice this in a phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. These are all again a framework which you can do that, right? Let's come to this thing. So we talked about professional status, which is about U square P, right? Professional status. If you talk about other traits, right? Like all 10, 12, 13, 14 traits are there. Pandulal. Leadership, even before leadership, attitude is a very important thing. Let's see if you time permits, we'll talk about it. Their attitude and these two, professional status and other traits, plus together, that's where the celebration, that's where you are a professional celebrity. Then you are a superstar. Absolutely, it's like, you enjoy the status, you enjoy the superstar status. You can relate what I'm saying now. Right? Even sometimes you are little less how you balance depends. Some people are very good at professional status, but because of various other reasons, they're not that popular. Right? And then that not influencing. So this is exactly what the professional celebrity is all about. Like, PS plus OT is equal to DC. This again is the formula. I go here, I just want to quickly say, these are all the key takeaways. Employability, learning, effectiveness, professional status, core traits, attitude, and the leadership. And the visibility is for the celebration. This I'll give you the action points, which you can put in practice. These are all the every week, every month, quarter, this year. You can see whatever I'm talking, I'm not just talking about the content. This is like a workshop, which I used to do this for about 4 to 5 hours, full day. But I'm just kind of contracted towards 1.5 hours, just to give the essence of it, or feel of it. I'm not going over, giving a lot of examples, quick examples. Then the follow-up resources. There are a lot of resources, a lot of books and references and online, and then things are there. You can just take a look later, right? Okay, see, there's a 2 traits which I've talked about, is attitude and the leadership. There may be another many traits. The leadership is leadership and attitude is the first thing, and the leadership is the second thing, which is a very important thing. Okay, let's see this attitude iceberg. Actually, what is attitude? Why some people are so good and very polished and then very sophisticated in terms of talking, in terms of relationship or building, very nicely and very honestly, because their belief, and then perception, and then also information, how they're born, where they're born, the environment, that form the attitude, that forms the behavior, that forms the emotion. Because say, for example, some people born in I'll tell you, my own family, which I'm eligible to talk. People say that, why girls should study, girls should need not go. Actually, till about 10, 15 years, I was under the same field. After that, when I started looking outside the world and said, no, they have to study, they have to go to college. That's where the change happens. But otherwise, if somebody is talking, suppose some friends come and this is where the attitude starts. That's where, because it's a foundation of where you born, your environment and things like, which is there, which nobody sees it. What they see outside is only the knowledge and then skills, So the foundation is very important, which we don't see. I'm just giving a very, very crude example, and I don't take that example. There are many things which you can think about, like beliefs, ethics. That some people are so judgmental, So this is which comes out. And what you don't see, that's a foundation which comes out as a behavior. That maybe a knowledge and skills they may have, but then the behavior is very different. So that's where the attitude iceberg. The next word is, The leadership, I'm connecting that. How does attitude impact an individual? Where the form, and see, this attitude itself will take about 2.5 hours. I'm just going to take only 2 slides. Then we'll finish this. What shapes a person's attitude? Can their attitude be changed? What are the obstacles, for the attitude? Right? I mean, if you look at some of the things, attitude is our best friend as well as the worst enemy. I'm talking about third point, right? Typically, attitude is formed based out of our past experience, and then as I talked about the environment, that's all this thing. But at the same time, I want to say it is your profile of our future. So if your attitude is good, your future will be good. Sometimes I've seen people who are not educated with a good attitude, they come up in life. Attitude is a very important thing, right? So that's what I said. Attitude is always a player in your life and team. Let's put this across. What is the fixed mindset and the growth mindset? The power of perspective. Let's talk about this. Some same job with fixed mindset, very frustration and burnout. Irritating. Suppose the same job with the growth mindset, learning opportunity and satisfaction. So how do you look at things? It's up to you. That's where it's not that you need to stick to the same job. But what I'm saying is that how do you find the opportunity in there? Wherever you are, how do you find the opportunity? How to kind of do things? How to put a growth mindset into that, right? Career setbacks with the fixed mindset, career setbacks with the growth mindsets, there are two different things which you need to understand. Let's talk about the fixed mindset and the growth mindset quickly. I can't change it. This unchangeable. I'm also one of the example for that. It's a long time. Even today, some of the attitude I'm not able to change. I'm just giving an example. But by the time I learn these things, it's we know that we have to change sometimes. We're not able to change. But if you change, you understand your mistakes, analyze mistake, and some again. Second point is very important. People don't take challenge. If you accept the challenge, that challenge, I tell you one thing, I've seen many adversary in my life. Every adversary, I crack it, I solve it, I grow. I crack it, I solve it. So you have to, sometimes my mind started looking for adversary. That is also bad. I'm just saying, where's the problem? Sometimes, that's the kind of things you'll tell. But anyway, so the idea behind is that any adversary, so it is a challenge. Accept the challenge, right? That's the thing. And also, why people don't want to take a challenge? Because if you fail, people say, oh, you failed. Okay, it's okay. You fail, your ability to learn new things, and important things, and then, the people with the fixed minds, they give up easily. The teaching, the param. Same cut, but here it's not inspired by other success. So that's where you have to put a strong pole and then move forward. These are all the 5 different points which have extended it: beliefs, efforts, mistakes, challenges, and the feedback. The last one I talk about it, the feedback. When somebody give a feedback, fixed mindset people will always say, very defensive. And they take it personal. And then even if you give a useful and a genuine criticism, honest criticism, the people don't take the feedback. But a constructive people, they appreciate the feedback and use it, and then learns from the criticism. So that's exactly how the growth fixed mindset versus the growth mindset works, right? Now let's go. That's where I stop. These are all again. You can just go and leadership development path is one thing where you can lead selfie. First is the entry point. Is first of all you should know personal mastery. Personal mastery, you yourself master in the sense how lead the self. Leading the self is the entry. Leading the peers. Influence without authority. See, influencing is different. Authority is different. If you look at this slide, leadership does not equal to management. Leaders are different, managers are different. You will see a lot of managers here. They are the task masters. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. No, leadership does not do that. Leadership is completely different. Managers and leaders and managers are two different worlds apart, I would say. Right? Leadership is about influence, not authority. Okay, fine. Having said that, so mid career, you're leading peers, influence without authority. The senior level, leading the leaders, developing other leaders. That's where it is. Of course, on the executive level is organizational leadership. That's a culture, strategy kind of a thing. So this is the development part. And then this is my statement. That which does not change does not grow. That which does not grow dies. As simple as that. Right? And one final note, if time permits, let's ask Mr. Salvaraj, if then I may take another 5 to 10 minutes to talk about the leadership and attitude. Otherwise, the final note is very important, your health. And I'm seeing nowadays I mean, people are a lot of obese, and then really what I'm trying to tell them, again, not gaming or, health is very important. People, I don't want people to get diseases in a very short time. I mean, young ages. They have to do at least one sports, one physical exercise every day, some stretching and all the stuff, and associate with the one sport, any sport. That's my request to all of you guys, and that's where I stop here. And thank you so much for this, having me and for this opportunity to talk to you people. I mean more of monologue, but still, I hope this is useful, and at some of the points, would help you to change your thinking or put into use. I really thank the opportunity, given to talk about this. I thank everyone on the panel and Mr. Selvaraj. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I stop here. Any questions? I would love to take questions.
Thank you, sir. It was an excellent talk. All the slides. Each spoken, so shared many things. Actually, whatever we in our career is faced, so many things. It has come as a nutshell. You brought it. It's a very good talk by you. It's excellent, wonderful. What not? We enjoyed your talk. Thank you. Thank you. Every slide is a golden slide for yours. Yeah.